this little video, I want to talk about paper. The paper I use. A lot of printmakers use this paper. We make a big deal out of the paper we use. It needs to be 100% rag and high quality and easy to work with, and be able to be soaked in water. If you're doing etchings, you have to soak the paper in water and then put it between blankets and run it through the press as a damp piece of paper. But I use a dry process. I do silk screening, and the paper I use is it's made in France or Italy somewhere. It's Rives BFK printmaking paper. The sheets I buy are 22 by 30 in size, and then I cut them in half to make the prints I'm making right now. The 11 by 14 prints fit very well onto this 15 by 20 size paper once I cut it down. And what I do, as you can see, the paper is very white. When I cut it down the middle, I have a nice edge, nice sharp edge, and that will give me a consistent sharp edge for doing the registration on the press when I start printing. I'm also going to take each of these. I have 20 pieces here. I'm going to take each of these and take my cutter and cut this decal edge off. When they make the paper, the edges of the paper have this rough edge on it when it was made in the paper makers. So I'm going to trim that off so I have this nice smooth edge on the side and the bottom, so I can get a more accurate registration with my registration tabs, which will fit on the bottom and the side. Then my registration tabs are also going to be made of paper, and I can put them on this paper at the top, bottom and the sides, and each time I print, I'll have the same 90-degree angle cut to fit into the little registration tabs. This paper has a front and a back, I think, and there's a watermark. It says BFK Rives right here. It's a watermark that's imprinted on there when they make the paper. You can't see it on the video, but that's the way you tell the front. So of course, each of them has a watermark, but when I cut them in half, you don't have a watermark on the others. And I don't think it really matters that there's a front or a back. I think it's equally well printed on the front or the back. And I've never really worried about that, except sometimes people like to see the watermark of the paper is legible on their print, and they look around for the watermark. And if it's backwards, they say, "Oh, you printed on the back of the paper." It doesn't really matter. So that's the kind of paper I use. Now this paper, for many years, I did drawings on this paper, and I've got drawings all over the place that I did on this paper that I ordered in the, it was like 28 by 40 inches size, twice as big as the size I ordered now. And I did these big, huge drawings on the Rives BFK paper using just pencil, graphite pencil. If you're familiar with any of the drawings I did over the years, that's probably the paper I used. This paper right here, but the bigger size format. Now this one, I don't buy the smaller pieces. I buy the medium-sized pieces and cut them in half. And so for this project I'm working on, I've got three prints I'm working on for this size. The first one, the Flaming Ford, is already done, and now I'm going to be starting on the Highway 21 print, which is just beginning. Before I can get into that, I have a big painting over there I have to finish, and so we'll see how it goes. But I'm anxious to get started on this. I want to test my registration tabs again in this new procedure. I have another new piece of equipment I bought. It's a little sidekick. I bought a sidekick to go on the side of my screen so that when I lift the screen up to take the paper out, I don't have to reach over and put the prop down. It has the sidekick automatically comes down and it holds the screen up so I can take the paper out, put new paper underneath, and then just push the screen back down to print. So that'll greatly enhance my speed of printing. I just noticed that camera over there is wiggling, and I don't know if that's going to affect the video or not, so we'll see how that works. That's about it. That's the long and short of the paper that I use. So over and out.